Alrighty everyone, welcome back. It is now August 8th of 2023, and there's been a lot of developments surrounding the Snow White 2024 film by Disney and how Bob Iger and the Disney board are really in an endless cycle, or a vicious cycle if you, of having this major shakeup surrounding this film's marketing, the development of everything happening behind the scenes, and a whole lot more. We're going to be going over a shocking turn of events that actually has much to do with the board agreeing with something very much substantial that was proposed by Bob Iger just last week. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future updates. I'm also on Twitter at Mike01. I thank you all so very much for the great and kind support, and let's get right into the subject, shall we? Now, we know that there's a lot of things happening right now with, of course, everything related to Disney. We have the whole Disney lockdown happening between all of the live-action adaptation or remakes of the original animated originals being put on hold to really kind of rethink their strategy. There's a lot of board members that want to up the ante on the diversity and really kind of up the level of agendas being thrown into those films, so it's really not good news. But looking past all of that, we know that Snow White right now is going through quite a bit of trouble ever since those leaked photographs of the 7 dwarfs actually leaked on the internet and really spread like wildfire into the mainstream media to the point where everybody actually saw that leaked photograph and just laughed at it. I mean, that's how bad the backlash is already for Snow White, and shockingly enough, there's a lot of things happening right now with the board. We're going to be discussing every single avenue about this and how it's leading to a major plan for the cancellation of Snow White 2024. Let's discuss. Now, on top of this, with the Disney board and Bob Iger now dealing with so much fallout related to those leaked photographs, Bob Iger for the past week has been actually making a major proposal to cancel the Snow White film entirely. However, though, of course, Snow White and 2 Snow White projects were cancelled, such as the 7 Dwarfs spin-off as well as the Evil Queen one, the main film's cancellation is now being discussed between multiple board members, ever since Bob Iger pressed his proposal to cancel the film to save their image. More than half of the Disney board members disagreed just a week ago. However, surprisingly enough, now more board members are beginning to take Iger's proposal into consideration, and one major development surrounding this plan of cancellation for the Snow White 2024 film is reportedly going to go by the statistics and feedback from the Snow White official trailer, which will debut at this D23 event to take place by this September. Board members want to see how the film performs at their upcoming event for the trailer and how it makes its debut to see how the general public reacts. If the backlash is that bad and astronomical, the board agreed with Iger it would be best to cancel the film entirely from the theaters and to then release it on Disney Plus around 1 whole year later to let the backlash settle in time. So there's more to this overall development, but one thing I want to talk about real quick is why I think it's a poor attempt. Now, number one, why even go forward with this if you really have little to no confidence about the film to begin with, right? Why would you want to drop a trailer at D23, or at any event for that matter, just to see how the fans react? We all know how they're going to react. I mean, let's be honest here. We all know how people are going to react, regardless of what they are about to do, and we're going to talk about that in just a second, about what they plan to do with Snow White, the official trailer, and how it relates to the Barbie movie. Alright, and I think that you guys know exactly where I'm getting at so far, but we'll touch on that in just a minute. The other thing about this that I really have to put at the forefront is how the board members are now magically turning around. So just last week, none of them wanted to listen to Bob Iger. Absolutely none of them. Very few were actually up for, his overall proposal, but most really wanted nothing to do with putting a cancellation on the table. Now, seemingly enough, more than half of the board wants to actually cancel this movie if and only if the official trailer really just gets that much backlash, gets that much of serious feedback to the point where it's really just going to outperform the level of disgruntled fans over The Little Mermaid and Elemental and stuff like that. If it really is going to go beyond that, they're gonna have to back out and cancel this movie. That's basically the board's way of thinking right now. But anyway, let's get into the next major piece about this. This is where things get even worse. However, in a big turn of events, the board is already working hard on giving Snow White's marketing the Barbie treatment to make the film seem like something it is not. The 7 dwarfs will barely make appearances in the planned footage, supposedly, if even at all, to hide the characters as much as possible from the trailer. If the footage if the footage actually fails with minimal footage of the dwarfs, all members of the board are reportedly supportive over Bob Iger of the decision to cancel the film from ever releasing in theaters at all. If the trailer, however, convinces enough people to have positive feedback and show signs of purchasing a ticket, they will move forward with releasing the film for its March of 2024 release date window anyway. This is a huge turn of events between Iger and the board. Now, again, I think that this is just ridiculous. I mean, if it were up to me, if I were the board of directors, let's say if they were all in agreement to cancel the movie, why not just cancel it now? Why not just put a big fat X on this movie and just move forward and focus on other things out there? Well, they're not going to do that seemingly enough because they want to see if they can get away with the marketing of this film first. That's the overall plan right now. They want to give the trailer the Barbie treatment where they're going to hide wherever they have to hide. That's going to create a stir or any kind of backlash. Of course, they can hide Rachel Zegler's Snow White. That'll still be at the forefront as well, so there's no hiding that. But what they will hide are things like the songs that are reportedly very cringeworthy, as well as the 7 dwarfs from making major appearances and keeping that down to a bare minimum, or maybe just even teasing them at the most, and then keeping it at that. Now, that's the strategy. And I think it's a very poor strategy, I really do. That's basically manipulating your audience, seeing how they react, and then putting a big stamp on the movie and saying, alright, it's good to go, put it in theaters, let's get people into the theater seats. You know why that's counterproductive? Word of mouth. Word of mouth. When people, a specific group of people, see this thing and reviews get out, people are going to look up those said reviews, and they're going to make up their own minds. Similar to what happened with Indiana Jones 5, The Dial of Destiny, a lot of people did not go to this movie. A lot of it had to, yes, do with word of mouth, but more or less of it had to do with the fact that really nobody was asking for a movie like this with Helena Shaw at the very center of the story, really kind of making all the decisions in front of Indiana Jones. But I digress, I don't want to get onto that subject. But here with Snow White, it's the same exact scenario with Barbie. They want to literally falsely pretty much motivate fans to go ahead and check out the film, that it's going to be worthy of a Disney remake, and it's going to become quite the opposite. So they're giving it the Barbie treatment, and that's basically their marketing strategy, I guess, if you even want to call it a strategy. If anything, it's more of them just copying and pasting what, they did with the Barbie movie. I think that Disney's trying to copy other studios here. But anyway, guys, drop a comment below, fill me in below in the comments what you all have to say about this, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys next time.
Gun in hand, we are alone again, no hiding. From night to moon, we hear them moans again.